What's up, you guys? Thought I'd come on here and do a little bonus Jimmy Rants before my official Jimmy Rants. This has become my morning ritual now, doing it a little bit later than I typically do. So I have been doing this infrared sauna therapy, not infrared, red light therapy here for several days now since I got the Joovv light. So I wanted to come on here, do the best I can to see your questions. I'm about to start Jimmy Rants here right after I get done with my red light therapy. Thought I would come on here because a lot of people are starting to have questions about red light therapy, and I wanted to give you guys some answers since you're asking about this. It's pretty darn cool, you guys. I've loved doing this. I don't know if you've heard about red light therapy before, but it's certainly something that has been helpful to me. A lot of people tend to use this thing in the morning time because it helps to rejuvenate you and energize you. In fact, my Keto Hacking MD podcast co-host, Dr. John Lemansky, he says he can't do it at night because it wires him up too much. Beth wants to know, is it heated? No, it's just red light, so I can sit there and put my hand all over it. There is a little bit of heat that comes from just, light. Anytime you have a light on, there is potential for some heat, but it's so minimal that you don't even notice it. Now, I'm pretty darn close. I'm about a foot away because I didn't want to be right in front of it, like doing this so I could see your comments, but no, not heated. Can I just use a red light bulb? So Beth, go listen to the Keto Hacking MD podcast. So that was on Friday, where Dr. John Lemansky, my co-host, and I started talking about red light therapy, and I had asked that question of, well, why don't you just use like a red light bulb? And he said, it's the amount of energy, the amount of lumens that is emanated from this little panel here. That's what you're looking for. You want the brightness, and you want the number of red bulbs to give you that exposure. Now, ideally, I would have my shirt off and have as much skin exposed as possible, but I'm primarily trying to get it into my brain and on my face to give me the benefits that I'm looking for. Katrina says, you've ranted so much lately, you've literally turned red. Yeah, today on Jimmy Rants. I do feel like I'm pretty red most days, Katrina, when I'm reading some of that nonsense they put out there about keto. So if you're just joining us, we're talking about the Joovv light. I got one of these bad boys recently, and I wanted to show you guys on camera in action what it looks like. It's pretty wicked as a visual on camera, but I wanted to make this a Jimmy Rants bonus episode right before I do my main episode. I'll be doing that here as soon as I'm done with my red light therapy. How does this differ from infrared? So Val, great question. Infrared, and I've got a sauna over there that's an infrared sauna. That gives, an infrared gives both light and heat therapy, but it's primarily for the heat benefits and for some of the anti-inflammatory benefits that come from being in the heat. This one here, I'm not getting any heat, it's just light. And with all the exposure that we have to blue light, we need to offset it with some red light. So that's what the red light therapy is. Again, go listen to the Keto Hacking MD podcast. We introduced this on Friday. This Friday, we're going to have an expert from the Joovv company on with us. In a couple weeks, we're going to have another expert on that will talk about the dangers of having too much blue light and what to do about it. And one of those things to do about it is to get red light therapy. KetoHackingMD.com if you want to go listen, you guys. Doctor Who? Just kidding. I'll go listen. Dr. Lemansky is his last name. If you haven't listened to the Keto Hacking MD podcast, he is a biohacking physician who uses things like red light therapy. He's the one that introduced me to sauna therapy and all kinds of things that we do. Bonnie says, is this similar to the lights in the winter to help depression and get vitamin D? No, Bonnie, those are actually white lights. I've seen those in like Sam's Club and Costco, and they're really nice to give you a rejuvenation of light when the light ostensibly is lower during the winter time. This could certainly serve the same purpose. The Joovv light could certainly serve that same purpose, but it's a totally different color of light. And the color does make a difference, you guys. The red light, as you will quickly learn when you listen to Keto Hacking MD podcast, it makes the difference. And what you're trying to do is, again, offset some of that blue light exposure, because our brains and our bodies are constantly exposed to the blue light from all the devices that we use, and some of the other lights that are in our house. They all emanate blue light. So this red light really helps to offset that. And yes, if you're just joining us, this looks kind of weird on camera, but I am sitting right in front of my Joovv light. It is red light therapy. Definitely go check them out, you guys. Joovv is spelled Joovv, as in Victor. And if you look them up online, you'll be able to see all about what they're about. I've enjoyed using this. See, I'm starting to feel a little bit of heat. It's not a heated device, but because it's light, it does emanate just a slight little bit of heat, making my eyes water a little bit, actually. CC Guide Dog's TV program Grey's Anatomy has a blue light room for relieving stress. Next, we'll hear about full spectrum. Yeah, I think this red light therapy is kind of an up and coming thing that people are realizing, okay, I got my diet dialed in. I'm doing some other therapeutic types of things. What else can I do? And in fact, I was just reading a news story, and maybe I'll rant about this on my Jimmy Rants here today. A news story about the CEO of Twitter named Jack Dorsey, who is doing all kinds of biohacking types of things, fasting, red light therapy, meditation, and all these things. And of course, the news article totally mocked him. And I'm thinking, hey, he's probably tapped into some secrets to productivity, and that's why he's doing it primarily, is to increase his productivity in his day and to be as optimally healthy as possible. Now, if a billionaire is doing that, why can't some of us schlubs that aren't billionaires enact some of these same kind of techniques? Mary Ellen, how bright is the light? You see me squinting. It is really bright. Now, obviously, I'm not looking directly at the light. Don't do that. I know some people, when they do the red light therapy, they'll wear some shades to try to deal with the brightness. It is pretty darn bright. And guys, I've actually had a headache this morning. So one of the reasons why I wanted to sit in front of the red light was to see if it would help. And so far, I'm actually doing pretty good. What's the purpose of the red light? So again, go listen. Keto Hacking MD podcast, ketohackingmd.com, or Apple Podcast, type in Keto Hacking, Stitcher, wherever you listen to podcasts. We introduce this subject, and all of these questions that you're asking about it will be answered, if not in that episode, in the next 2 episodes. You're a positive delight with all your helpfulness. Thank you, Mary Ellen. Appreciate that. Very cool. Thank you. Is it okay for your eyes? So yeah, don't look directly at it, Bonnie. There's certainly no harm in if you looked up and some got in your eyes, but you don't want to sit there and keep looking at it. The most wicked thing is when it cuts off, which I've got this session set up for about 20 minutes because I didn't want to go too long. But after the 20 minutes, it cuts off, and it's just a weird kind of where your eyes have had this exposure to the red light, and then suddenly it's back to normal, and you're just kind of like floating there for a minute. It's the weirdest sensation. Are you finding benefits, says Colleen. So I've only been using it, Colleen, for about 3 or 4 days. It's hard to tell yet, to be honest. When you start any kind of new modality and you're relatively healthy already, which I am, there isn't going to be this, oh my gosh, this is the best thing ever kind of experience right away. I'm thinking that in the long term is when the benefits will start to show up. So when I test blood markers like inflammation, like HSCRP, Will I end up seeing a lower level of HSCRP if nothing else changes about anything else I do and all I've done is add in the red light? I think I will. That is one of the benefits that we're supposed to see. But until I've done this for a little while, I can't really report back on that kind of thing. Will it lower insulin levels? It's supposed to. We will find out. Will I find that I have more energy throughout the day? So that's a subjective thing that I could see now. And the problem is I already have really good energy. So it's like when you're already pretty healthy and you add in another health modality like red light therapy, like we're showing you guys here today, how much greater benefit will you see? Now, if somebody was eating the standard American diet and they just started on keto and they're really trying to feel better right away, maybe they sit in front of a red light therapy like I am right now, and they're getting greater benefit in terms of subjectively seeing a change. So to be determined is the answer to your question. I want to see what happens as we continue to do this on a daily basis. I have started to do it twice a day. So I've been doing it in the mornings. The first couple of days I did it in the mornings, 2-3 days. And then yesterday I decided, hey, let's do 2 sessions, once in the morning and once in the afternoon. And so far, so good. So again, if you're just joining us, this is a Jimmy Rants bonus episode. I wanted to show you guys the Joovv light. So this is like a little contraption from this company called Joovv, Joovv. And it's red light. And red light therapy, if you're not familiar with what red light therapy is, definitely check out the Joovv website, Joovv. I believe it's .com after that. And you can check it out. You can see what all the benefits are of doing red light therapy. This is different than infrared sauna therapy because the sauna is heat and this is just light. So the red light is supposed to improve anxiety and depression. It's supposed to lower inflammation levels. It's supposed to lower insulin levels. There's so many good benefits to this that it'd be kind of silly that if you know you can get benefits and you have the means to get a little device like this or some sort of thing that will give this kind of red light to your body, that you wouldn't use it. And I think the longer we're in this health space, the more that we learn that it's so much more than diet. I think a lot of people put all of their eggs in the basket of, okay, I got my diet right, it's clean, it's keto, and that's all I have to do. And I think that's a little bit closed-minded thinking. Keto is a great foundation for getting healthy, but I don't think keto is the be-all, end-all only and alone for people to get healthy. And part of the challenge of this is the damage that's been done from our past nutritional health choices. So we all eat keto now to make us healthy, but what can we add in to keto to make it optimally healthy for us? And that's where things like an infrared sauna, that's where things like this red light therapy that I'm showing you here today. If you're just joining us, don't adjust your screen. Yes, I am all red. And I'm not angry in a rant today. I'm showing the Joovv light, so that's what we're looking at here. Does it require a blackout room? Kimberly, no. I'm actually sitting in my man cave, and you can see in the windows over there that there's plenty of light coming through. I do actually have one of these gizmos up in my recording studio up there, and it's pretty darn dark in there. So I'm kind of mixing it up. Obviously, the primary goal is to get as much of that red light to touch your skin as possible. And I'm hoping you guys that as I continue to do this, that some of the benefits to the brain health, which is where I'm getting a lot of the red light to be exposed, is all around my head and my brain and all of that. To me, that is my goal. That's my goal of why I eat keto. It's my goal as I move forward. I don't know if you guys saw the video of Dr. John McDougall, the big starch-based vegan diet guy. He was interviewed recently by this medical doctor, and the guy was asking all kinds of great questions but Dr. McDougall was out of his mind. And he's only like 72 years old, and he was like a crazed wild man. Definitely go look it up if you don't know what I'm talking about. But he's demonstrating why having a clear, sound mind through nutritional choices and through lifestyle choices, like using red light therapy, is so critical. And if you do things when you're younger, and then it'll pay off when you get older. And that's what I'm hoping. My goal isn't to be stick thin and muscular with a six-pack abs. My goal is to live to be 110 years old with this sharp brain that I have now. That's what I want. Doesn't it work better if skin exposed? Yes, C-Doc, I explained that at the beginning. Nobody wants to see Jimmy Moore with his shirt off, right? So yes, I usually do when I'm doing this not on camera for you guys. I usually do have my shirt off and pretty much as little clothing on as possible. Yeah, so yes, you are correct. The more skin, the better exposed. So what I usually do with a 20-minute session is I have my whole front of my body exposed, and then I turn around for the last 10 minutes for the whole back side of my body exposed. One thing I would love to do is in the midsection of my stomach, where most of the body fat that I still have primarily resides, is right there in the belly. I would love to do like a long session, like maybe 40-minute session of just on the belly, to see if there's any measurable change that could happen, because ostensibly the belly's there because there could be some inflammation going on. And I wonder if it would help to mobilize some of that stored body fat. We'll see, you guys. I think that would be a great experiment for me to do, just to see if the red light therapy can help to mobilize some of that. How cool would that be, right? To be able to maybe, just maybe, mobilize some of that. I'll let you know, obviously, as I continue to use this red light. But in general, right now, the red light therapy is still new to me. I'm still getting used to just basically having it on, having these really bright lights. It's like, I feel like I'm like in Hollywood. Yes, I'd like to thank all the little people in the world. They helped to make this happen, and this Oscar that I won. And just like that, they pulled me off the stage. So Beth says, could you use the Joovv while inside the infrared sauna and kill two birds with one stone? It's so funny you say that, Beth, because there is my sauna. And I was joking with Christine the other day that it would be great if I could set up the red light shining on me while I'm in the infrared sauna. So great minds think alike, isn't that the old saying? So thank you for the suggestion. I had literally just thought of that. I would love to see the outcome on your stomach area thing. Yes, Val. When I'm on my sabbatical for 6 months, I'm going to have plenty of time to do all kind of stuff. So for sure, I will be doing it during that time. So yeah, if you're just joining us, I'm showing red light therapy. There it is. This is called the Joovv light. And so it's just this red light therapy. And it shines red light on your body and the benefits that come from that. And if this looks a little bit weird to you, oh my gosh, what in the world are you doing? That doesn't look normal. Well, it's not normal, because the normal is people are sick, people are fat, people are unhealthy, and I'm trying to be abnormal. I want to be healthy. I want to be as healthy a weight as possible. I want to have the best health markers in inflammation and insulin and blood sugar and longevity markers. All of those things are much more important to me than looking normal. So hopefully today on this Jimmy Rants bonus episode, you're getting some of the reasons why red light therapy could be helpful. And again, if you missed it earlier, we are talking a lot about red light therapy on my Friday podcast. It's called the Keto Hacking MD podcast. I do that with Dr. John Lemansky. And yeah, he and I have been talking quite a bit, starting last Friday, about why red light therapy. So if you've got questions about this, go listen to that podcast. This Friday, we're going to have on a representative from the Joovv company, and it just went off. So Whew, like I said, as soon as it goes off, you kind of have this, it's just kind of a weird sensation once that light kicks off. But we're going to have somebody on from the Joovv company this Friday to answer questions specifically about this device that I'm using. And then I just kick off the power. And then my eyes have to get readjusted to the regular light again. And then the next Friday, we're going to have an expert on who has written some books and done a lot of research on blue light and why you want to minimize your blue light. My eyes are still kind of going, where are we? It's awesome. Blue light, why it's so unhealthy for you. And there was light, says Kimberly. So, all right, guys, I need to hop upstairs because up there is where I do Jimmy rants. So I need to pop up there, but I wanted to come on and do this big bonus episode for you guys first. We will put this over on YouTube for everybody to see. So if you've got people interested in this whole red light and you really don't know a whole lot about it, share this video with them when it gets posted to YouTube. So, all right, I'll be back in just a moment with today's episode of Jimmy Rants. Bye.